Hey guys, welcome back from our short break that we just had. I hope you're still seated on that chair. You've not woken up from it. Please get a glass of cold water and put beside you because we are getting much more interesting. Now let's continue, guys. What turns a person into an abuser? Are they people that are born to be abusers? Does abuse exist in the blood? Is it in your vein? Is it in your blood? No. No one is born an abuser. People turn themselves into abusers. So there's nobody on earth who is born to be an abuser. People choose, they make that choice, and they turn themselves into abusers, and they were actually manifesting it. First point, guys, abuse is a learned behavior. I want you to understand that. Abuse is actually a learned behavior. Some people grow up in their families witnessing such acts in their homes. There were children that grew up in homes whereby their parents were fighting on daily basis. And there were homes whereby on daily basis the father is beating up the mother and is teaching his male children that women are not important. Women should not be respected. Women should not be valued. And these children learn from their father. They think it's a good act. They grow up with it. And today they are manifesting the same act because they know that they copied best practices from their first teacher. Now, remember that the first teacher of every parent, of every child, is their parent. So, while your child is growing up, whatever the child sees you doing, the child knows it is good, and the child will normally mimic what you're doing. So, a lot of people are abusers today, not because they were born to be abusers, they're abusers today because they learned to from their parents, they learned it from their homes, they learned it from their communities, they learned it from their neighbors. So that's how they became abusers. Other people learned it from their culture. Now there are tribes. For example, there are tribes here in Cameroon. I'm not going to call the name of that tribe, whereby the husband beating the wife is an act of demonstration of love. That's the culture of that tribe. If you don't beat up your wife, it means that you don't love her. So you beating up your wife is demonstrating your love towards her. So that's the culture. So imagine a man born into that tribe. He grows up. What becomes of him? He understands and he knows that demonstration of love is through wife battering. So even if he marries a woman tomorrow from another tribe, he will actually continue in that act because he knows that it's the right thing. There are others that also learn it from friends. Even the Bible says bad communication corrupt good manners. You have friends that claim that women are not important, claim that women are articles, women are items, and they should be treated the way items are being treated. And they boast about it, how they don't regard women, they beat them up and they treat them the way they want to do. You learn from them. Yes, the bad communication is actually corrupting the good manners and you're copying from them. And today you're an abuser. Now, one thing about an abuser is that it's a choice. You made that choice to become an abuser because you can choose not to. If you are an abuser today, it's because you are a choice, because you made the choice. Sorry, all the men today who are abusers, they made the choice to become abusers because they can choose not to. So it's actually a choice. Another thing, another aspect also is alcohol. Those taking alcohol, those taking substances like drugs, under the influence of those drugs, under the influence of the alcohol, they can do and undo. It can cause them to become abusers on daily basis, especially those who get drunk on daily basis. Yeah, they can become an abuser. That's how people turn themselves to be abusers. Another aspect of it also is life situation. Now, in homes whereby you find some homes whereby the man does everything. The man does everything in those homes, and the woman doesn't do anything. He goes out there to hustle, to look for money, to take care of the house. And in the course of hustling, nothing shows up for that day. All the frustration he got out there, maybe he was even insulted. He comes back home and you, the wife, you're budging his ears. There's uh there's no salt in the house. I need one new pink lipstick. I need of course what happened? He'll normally vent all the frustrations on you. Oh, women, I want to talk to you. Housewife is old fashioned. Don't sit there thinking you're a housewife and you don't bring anything to the table. Oh, men have respect for women who put things on the table. If you're that woman that put food on the table, the man will always have respect for you. So if you're that woman that you don't have any contribution in the home, forget. This IPV we are talking about will always happen to you. There are homes whereby couples were fighting on daily basis. They will intervene in those homes and empower the woman economically. The fighting stopped. So gone are those days where most of us are birth certificate. If you look at birth certificate, you write mother's occupation, you see housewife. Those were in the days of our mothers. We are in another dispensation. Don't sit there that you're a housewife. Housewife is old fashioned. Bring in something. Don't allow the man to shoulder all the responsibilities alone. He shouldn't carry all the burden. If the man is carrying all the burden on his shoulder, then why are we talking about equality? Where's the equality we're talking about? Oh, this is part of equality. So you to bring in something to show that you're also important to us. Hey, sorry. You're very, very much important. You to bring in something to show that you are also a helper, you are a partner, and you should be treated as such. So that's it. So these are some of the factors that causes one to turn into an abuser. So no one was actually born to be an abuser. People turn themselves to be abusers and they made those choices and today they are manifesting them. So guys, that was it for why sorry how somebody can become an abuser. Now I want us to talk about these women and girls who are victims of this IPV. Why do they find it so hard to leave these abusers? Most of the times when you come across these victims, no matter how you talk to them, most of the time they don't want to leave the abusers. But yet they are suffering, they are dying. Even if their lives are being ruined, even if they're losing their lives, they don't want to leave the abusers. Why is it so? First point, most of these victims, women and girls, they love their partners so much and they think that their partners will change. They are hoping for a change. Some even feel that maybe their partners are like that because of some circumstances or some situations that they came across in life or some tough times in life, and they think that they being better partners to them will cause them to change. Ha! It's very difficult to change an abuser. You're not God. Only God can change people. It's so difficult. I mean, it's that difficult to change an abuser. Very difficult. So most of the times, these women and girls stay there hoping that these people will change. But unfortunately, they even get worse by the day. And yet, you're miserable. You're going through pain. You don't have peace. Yet, you're still stuck up in the home. That's why most of them don't want to leave. They are hoping for a change. But the big question is, can you change an abuser? Only God changes people. That's the truth. And that's the unfortunate situation. Now we heard of this case of I will just call this Nigerian gospel artist in Nigeria who died, Osinachi. I just want to call that particular, I want to mention that particular case because that's a very popular case that everybody knew about it. So she had been going through that situation for a long time. She too was hoping that the husband would change someday. Where is she today? Life has no duplicate. I'll repeat. Another situation, another aspect also why most of them don't want to leave their abusive partners is because they want to protect their family image. Some families have big um this good reputation and this big name that they don't want to be disgraced. So a woman from the family gets married and such things are happening to her, she finds it difficult to leave her marital home because she doesn't want to drag that good image into the mud. She cares about the image of her family. She wants to protect the image of the family. Sometimes she even wants to leave, but that same family is pressuring her, reminding her of the family image and how important that image should be protected rather than looking after her welfare. Yeah, that's how unfair the society is towards such victims. You care about your family image. You want to protect your family name. You don't want it to be dragged to the mud. So your daughter should die because of your family image. So that's why you find most of the stuck in those relationships, even if they're dying, they're bound to be there. Another thing is poverty. I've talked to a whole lot of women. Some of them tell you that, well, even if I live for me, how will I feed? If I live and I carry my children along, this man will no longer take care of my children, and I don't have anything. In as much as he knows that I've taken the children are not with him, he does not take care of the children. So maybe insist, say, as you're going, carry your children and go. There is children, no, but he'll tell her, carry your children and go. And as you go with the children, they don't want to take care of the children again, and the woman has nothing, and she comes from a background that is very humble, a very poor background. So because of that, she's bound to stay there. At least she's consoling herself that the man can provide for her. She fits. At least she has even 2 square meals a day. So if she goes, where will she have that opportunity? So that's the reason why you see them that stuck there. They want to live. They want freedom. But they're just like it's just like when you're catching fish and you catch some of these fishes and put in the net. They're still jumping like they're looking for a way out. They want a way out because they want to have their freedom as at first. But when they jump and go, the net is tight. The net has been tied all around them, but they really want to go out. So that's how these victims feel. So another aspect of it is low self-esteem. We are in a society whereby we talk a lot. We talk too much and we do a lot of name calling. We are good at describing people by their situation. So a lot of these women are like, if I leave this marriage, what will people say about me? She cares about what people will say about her. She'll become a laughing stock in the community because, especially in an African society, if you leave your marital home, it's like a curse. You're a bad woman. Yes, it's always a woman that is bad. It's always a woman that is a bad seed. So because of that, she doesn't want to be mocked at. So for that reason, she's bound to stay there. There's also an aspect that I call the Stockholm Syndrome. This Stockholm Syndrome is another thing that keeps victims with their abusive partners. It prevents them from leaving. They tend to have sympathy. They sympathize with the perpetrator. Their abusive partners. They sympathize with them. And they even feel at some point that what these partners are doing to them is right. For example, a woman that feels that maybe she did not prepare food on time and the husband got her well beaten. So she thinks that the husband is right because she did not prepare food on the time. Sorry, because she did not prepare food on time, and she feels that for that reason she should be beaten or she should be punished. So that's it. That's how this Stockholm syndrome holds most of them. And when a case like this comes, you be very careful because this kind of people, they try to protect the perpetrator. Since they're sympathizing with them, they want to even protect them because they're even trying to understand them. Another aspect of it, which is the last point I'm going to give on this, is trauma bonding. At one point, victims of this IPV tend to develop a kind of connection with their abusive partners. The love grows. A deepening connection. So for that reason, they don't even want to leave. They don't see reasons why they should leave. Rather, they care about the connection that they create with these abusive partners because they're now enjoying it. So to them, it's good. Until the day that they'll be taking 6 feet under, that's when they'll understand that it is bad. Victims of IPV, women and girls, I'm talking to you especially, your life is much more important. Your well-being is much more important. Please, so I will say this again, life has no duplicate. Don't let the society pressure you onto what you do not want. Please take care of yourself. You see those innocent children you've given birth to, if you die today, those children will suffer. They need you. They need you to be with them. and they need you to take care of them. So thank you guys, that was it for this video. I'm going to cut it from here because the video is getting too long. So for the next video, I'm going to talk about how should you help a victim of IPV. So thank you guys, see you in the next video.